name's Robert Dondiego, and this is Hashtag News, a satirical news-style web series devoted to stories trending on Twitter, on Facebook, or simply amongst the populace at large. And this is our first episode. Yeah, first episode. It's our first episode, and of course, as I'm sure you all know, everything always goes perfectly the first time around. But we're gonna give it a shot here, and hopefully the learning curve won't take too much longer than M. Night Shyamalan with The Last Airbender movie, when finally, even he had to admit his career was over. Now, tonight's first story takes us to our first ever running segment. Now, get used to this one. You'll be seeing a lot of this one. The Fox Who Cried Wolf. Now, if you've ever watched a show like this, then you'll be very aware of the reputation Fox News has for, shall we say, stretching the truth. And when I say stretching, I mean like a new mom trying to squeeze into her pre-pregnancy jeans in front of all her single friends. No one can tell if she's lying to those bitches or herself, but you can bet it's one or the other. So here we go. Fox, dare I ask what the wolf did this time?
Now here's the part that I really don't think that you'll read anywhere else. Boston is a gay rights activist who previously lived in San Francisco before moving to New York. In 2012, he was interviewed by the Midtown Gazette, which covers part of Manhattan. During the campaign for marriage equality, he said, "It's kind of insulting to have to beg people for my right to marry." To those of you that are gay rights activists and who like to monitor the show, I'm not inferring that this accident happened because he was gay, but I do think it's an interesting part of the story, and you can bet it will be edited out.
Okay. Let me try to put this in context first. Everyone in America by now has heard of the horrible news of Amtrak Train 118's tragic derailment responsible for the deaths of 8 passengers. Now, the engineer of that train was a man named Brandon Bastian, and apparently he has no recollection of the incident due to post-concussion amnesia. Officials don't know if or when Mr. Bastian will regain those crucial memories. In the meantime, investigators from the National Transportation Security Board and now the FBI are looking for clues, both at the scene of the crash in North Philadelphia and within Mr. Bastian's personal life, to find a possible explanation for what happened. Now, apparently, Fox News contributor Sandy Rios decided to look for her own answers. But how on earth, you might ask, does Miss Rios draw the line from being gay to launching an 8-car train right off the tracks? I would answer that question right now. But luckily, I don't have to.
I would say this: I know of at least one situation, and I don't know if this relates to Brandon in any way, but when people are going through some confusion that has to do with the very core of who they are, like, for instance, someone I know who was a pilot for a very large airline, started taking hormone shots to change genders, and put his entire plane at risk because he had an emotional, angry outburst to something that happened. And he was suspended for a very long time and then reinstated. I don't know, but I think it's something to be discussed. And I think it's a factor, and I'm doubting you'll hear it anywhere else.
Now, I know Miss Rios doesn't speak for everyone at Fox News, but I'd let someone baby bird me if there wasn't a single person in that network who didn't agree with me. You know what, Fox, we need to have a little heart-to-heart, a huddle-up, a gaggle, if you will. You keep talking about homosexuality, but I don't think being gay means what you think it means. As hard as it may be for you to believe, most gay people don't find being gay disgusting. It doesn't take time to get used to. They were always gay. In fact, the ones who actively campaign for gay rights, like Mr. Bastian, are probably more comfortable with who they are than you are. He's more of a Channing Tatum, I'm too sexy for my shirt comfortable. You all seem a little more like Lindsay Lohan inside Jamie Lee Curtis's body in Freaky Friday. And to suggest that sexual orientation is implicitly relevant to a person's state of mind, and derivatively their capability to do their jobs, only serves to demonstrate just how little you understand about the lives of the people you're speaking of. And it's also extremely ignorant and irresponsible to compare the average gay person to someone who is going through a medical procedure. This person, who underwent gender transition, most likely experienced angry outbursts because their body was still adjusting to all the new hormones being artificially pumped into their bloodstreams. Which isn't to say that gender identity can't be a scary issue to confront for many. Surely, it can be. But not to the extent you want to make it out to be. All you've done here is raise a completely irrelevant aspect of a man's personal life. A man about whom we need to know far more pressing information. In an effort to utilize the politics of fear to scare your aging audience by convincing them that gayness has caused the apocalypse you've been falsely warning them of for decades. And what's saddest about all of this is how pathetic this obvious manipulation pales in comparison to the fact that you've all but lost the fight against the normalization of homosexuality in mainstream American culture. And with any luck in the coming days or weeks, the Supreme Court could confirm that with its decision in, I swear to God, I have no idea how to pronounce this name. Obergefell? We'll just call him Obi. Obi v. Hodges, which was heard earlier in April. So, I'm just going to sit over here in my little bubble of love and wisdom, watch over the next 10 years while your viewership slowly dwindles down to the lucky few who manage to make it to the age of 90. Because if you don't choose to change your social narrative very soon, you won't be earning any new viewers from the next generation. So good luck spewing your lies and hatred when there's no more money coming in to turn the lights on. I'll be right back.